everybody. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion in the Garage. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Peter Clayton's behind the camera. As I sit here, I am totally amazed at the number of people who have contacted me on my Facebook page. I'm assuming that from the live streaming on Friday and the podcasts and the page, Facebook page, it all comes through to the same place. I think that's what happens. Anyway, I'm just amazed at the number of people who are supporting the argument that there should be an absolute no vote for this referendum. Now, I was conditioned, being a total novice, totally inexperienced and ignorant about the social media in all its shapes and forms. And I was told it was vicious and they'd tear your hair out, tear your ears off. They'd destroy you. They would kill you. They would ridicule you. Do you know the funny thing? Not one single. No, to be totally honest, there was one out of hundreds and hundreds of messages that I've been sent. And I've replied to all of them, or I think I have. If I haven't to this moment, I will be working my way through to that end. But there was only one comment that said, we should recognise Aboriginals and we should vote yes, to give them a say. And I wrote back, Aboriginals are already recognised in the Constitution. It's section 52(21). I'll check that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And I said, well, Aboriginal people, we're all equal. Aboriginal people have exactly the same access to voting and to the executive as we all do. We can make representation to the executive, and of course we can cast our vote on election day. But that was the only, and it wasn't a nasty comment, it was just a statement to which I replied. But hundreds and hundreds, I won't say thousands, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people are saying they will not support the yes vote. And yet you see we have this government who has in its mind's eye, its heart's desire, that we do. What does that tell us about that government? I think it's frightening. Anyway, just remember, we have a democratic vote, and from my cross-section of society, I see that it will be a resounding failure. Prime Minister arrives, I think, next Wednesday or Thursday in Adelaide. It is tipped, as we've been predicting here in the Court of Public Opinion, that it'll be the 14th of October, that the referendum will be held. It'll be announced here because they consider they've got New South Wales and Victoria. They need to get Tasmania and South Australia across the line. They won't get Queensland across the line. They won't get the Northern Territory across the line. Anyway, I don't believe it's going to be carried, and it's just a mammoth, crazy waste of money. Absolutely stupid. Anyway, what's around the place? The Christmas food has hit the supermarket shelves. I don't know. I find that amazing. Here we are, the 28th of August, and they are selling Christmas food in the supermarkets. Coles and Woolworths have launched their Christmas range, with more products expected to be on the shelves next week. Our team are so excited to get the Christmas spirit a little bit early, Coles spokesman Martine Alpine said. People really like to try and get in early for Christmas. Well, I guess we all do, but gee whiz. Christmas in August? Lordy, lordy, lordy. Speaking of the stores, I see we spent last year $18 billion at Bunnings. Woo! That's a lot of hardware. $18 billion at Bunnings. Wesfarmers had an incredibly good year. Officeworks, they own Officeworks. $3.4 billion at Officeworks. What else can I tell you about the year? Housing vacancies have dropped to 1.2%. That's very low. And of course, the lower that figure goes, the higher the rents will go. Now, the NAPLAN story I find very interesting. We've touched on it before. I mentioned it on Friday. I want to keep a lot of the things that we talk about during the week here in the garage over to Friday so that we can talk at large and you can come in with your comments on the telephone about the whole thing. But the NAPLAN result to me was no surprise. 1 in 3 school kids not meeting literacy and numeracy requirements, which is really disgraceful when you consider the money that is poured into the public school system, and we're only talking the public school system. South Australia is a standout. We improved in reading and writing since the introduction of a policy of getting back to basics. Now, the truth of the matter is we never should have gotten away from basics. That's about phonics, you know, sounding out the word. Sounding out the word. It's not a huge issue. It worked for years and years. If I close my eyes, I can still remember the sort of map hanging on the classroom wall where it was A for apple, B for this, C for that. And you had to sound out your words. Anyway, here's a not exactly fun fact. In the last 12 months, 26 million pieces of luggage have gone missing. This is airline luggage, Heathrow being the worst place. How could that possibly be? You know, you'd really scratch your head and you'd wonder, how in God's name could that possibly happen? I should say congratulations to some people here. Bless their hearts, they've done extremely well. Berries Creek Gourmet Cheese here in South Australia has been named, well, not actually South Australia, it's actually South Gippsland. Now, they have been named, it's a boutique outfit, they've been named the Supreme Artisan at the 2023 International Cheese and Dairy Awards, cementing Australia's presence as a force to be reckoned with in the world of specialty cheese. The award, held this year in Staffordshire, the United Kingdom, attracted 5,500 entries from around the world, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this is remarkable. Berries Creek Gourmet Cheese, the prestige Supreme Artisan Specialist Cheese Award. This is the first company to do so in Australia in 125 years of competition. That's fantastic. That is really good. I must tell you this, is we've talked in the Court of Public Opinion, it must be about a year ago now. I remember talking to you about this PFAS stuff around airports and military bases. This is a flame retardant. Now, it just happens in the last couple of days they've come out with two interesting stories. One is that the paper straws that they have put into circulation to replace the plastic, single-use plastic straws, apparently have been leaching PFAS into the people who use them. Now, that's carcinogenic. I mean, so carcinogenic that the law, the legal suit that they brought against the Commonwealth, all those people, and I think there were 30,000 in South Australia, and we're talking about a similar number in every state of Australia. The court case settled with $130 million to be split among, in South Australia's case, 30,000 people. 30,000, that's not a lot of money. I'm not exactly sure how you could properly compensate people for all of that. I don't know. But doesn't it strike you strange? It certainly strikes me passing strange that the straws that have replaced the plastic straws to help save the environment, those straws are passing on PFAS, carcinogenic PFAS, to the community, while on the other side of the ledger our law courts are passing out compensation for having this chemical being used in domestic or suburban areas to the point where hundreds of millions of dollars are being paid to compensate people. Now, I don't know, I'd like to talk to you on Friday, in all honesty, about this Louis Rubiales fellow. I think that's the way you pronounce his name. He's the president of the female women's soccer organisation in Spain. You'd be aware, but it's been everywhere. He, in his, Latin enthusiasm, he grabbed the girl in her moment of victory and kissed her on the mouth. Kissed her on the lips. Shock, horror. I don't know what to make of it. They're trying to talk about a Me Too moment. Is that a Me Too moment? Is that not just some person's... It wasn't sexual exuberance, it was just patriotic exuberance or sporting victory exuberance. I cannot get my mind around why the media and the sporting world would seize upon that incident as being such a moment in history. So bloody what? So he grabbed the girl and kissed her on the mouth. I don't know whether he asked her permission or not. I don't know whether she gave him permission or not. But I can't imagine how something like that would occupy so many column inches and headlines around the world. Extraordinary. Talk to me on Friday about that. I'd love your opinion on it. I mean, overreaction, political correctness, sexual something or other? Don't know. Julia Gillard's Royal Commission into schools. Those results were out yesterday, and at the time of recording today's show, I hadn't had the opportunity to look at it, but I will have plenty of time by Friday to look at it, and so will you. Between 9 o'clock and 12, we live stream on jeremycordeaux.com, and we can talk about that and anything else that you want. But most importantly, how do we possibly... I think the mainstay of her findings is that we get kids as young as 3 into school. I cannot for the life of me understand why people would have children and want to pack them off to school at the age of 3. Some sort of preschool. I think that's ridiculous. Anyway, the results will be out. And this, of course, is at exactly the same moment as the teachers' strike. They want a 20% increase in salary. 20%! 20% increase in salary. A personal assistant in every classroom and somebody to help them with the admin. I can tell you, we don't need a royal commission and we don't need a strike. What we need is a national approach to education in Australia, which is a hodgepodge, different completely from state to state, from state to state and territory. I don't know, but in the 21st century it's ridiculous that we don't have a national educational curriculum and a policy, a philosophy, a plan. Again, something we can talk about in detail come Friday. A few dates before I say goodbye. Happy birthday, happy wedding anniversary. If it's a special day, I hope it's an especially nice one. The 28th, pharmacists John Lee and William Perrins manufacture Worcestershire sauce for the first time. And of course they left the pharmacy business and went into the condiment business. Perrins, of course, famous name. That was 1837 on this day. Toyota Motors became an independent company on this day in 1937. 1830, a horse raced against the train on this day, 1830. The first American-built locomotive, it was called Tom Thumb, races a horse-drawn cart from Stockton to Stokes. Let history record that due to mechanical problems, the horse won. Pete? The horse won. Now, I think the Stockton to Stokes, I think that was the stagecoach company, and the race was from Baltimore to Ellicott Mills. Anyway, you can look it up. Shania Twain, 1965, Canadian-born American award-winning country music singer, still the one. We play that occasionally on Friday's program. That Don't Impress Me Much was another one. Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Anyway, she was born in Windsor, Ontario on this day in 1965. Golly. Britain's Slavery Abolition Act gains royal assent, 1833 on this day. David Soul, American-British actor, Starsky and Hutch, singer, Don't Give Up on Us, born Chicago, Illinois, on this day in 1943. He's older than me. Caleb Brabham renames his carbonate soft drink Pepsi Cola on this day. Caleb Brabham, 1898. Pepsi Cola. Okay. 1189, the Third Crusade began. 2020, Japanese tech company Skydive says that it has completed the first manned test flight of a flying car. This day in 2020. Most importantly, this day, Martin Luther King Jr. delivers his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, addressing the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom Civil Rights March at London Memorial, Washington, D.C. on this day. Brilliant, brilliant speech. Brilliant speech. I think the thing I loved about it most was he talked about, let us strive to be in a world that judges people not on the colour of their skin, but their character. Damn right. We must not have laws or referenda or anything that divides Australia. We're all one people, one great big beautiful melting pot. I'm sure that is right. Jack Kirby, American cartoonist, X-Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, he dies, well, he was born in 1917, he died in 1994, grand old age. And the first use of a magnetic resonance imaging machine, an MRI machine, to scan the human body in Scotland on this day in 1980. And happy birthday to Leanne Rimes. Do you remember Blue? It was a good song. Country singer, Blue and How Do I Live? Born in Jackson, Mississippi, 1982. And if it, as I say, is your birthday or wedding anniversary, I hope it's a wonderful day. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Peter Clayton and I will be back with you in the garage tomorrow. And don't forget Friday live streaming, jeremycordeaux.com, when we can take your calls and have a two-way, interactive conversation. Thanks for viewing. Believe in yourself, and bye for now.